Hi, this is Vinney Chopra. I'm so excited because I'll be interviewed by Tony Potts. And I'm so excited to meet him today. He's the one who has had exemplary winnings on his career. Tony's Emmy Award winning career includes 12 years as the host, writer, and producer of the NBC hit show Access Hollywood, and has a rich history rooted in the content and the communication and the news economy, successfully delivering content to the audience of millions. I am just so fired up, I just can't tell you. And please be on the lookout for this great rendering that we're going to put together. I hope it's going to be fantastic and that you're going to be able to really follow some of the things that he's going to ask me, and I'm going to candidly answer all the good right answers. Hopefully I will do that. So I'll see you again. Take care. Ciao. Dear friends, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for liking the podcast and all the shows. Vinney and Walter, we do that Abundance Mindset show, which goes live in all social channels on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, and also Vinney and Bo show, which goes also on Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific. And thank you for really liking the books and all the content that my team puts out for you. Please enjoy this episode. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
I find it fascinating. You came from where, and you arrived with $7 in your pocket? Where did you
I grew up in New Delhi. I was born in New Delhi, India. Yes, we are 6 siblings, 6 children. We lived in one bedroom apartment, 1 bedroom and 1 living room and a hallway kind of thing. And my parents were very nice. I have all the best fond memories, even though we didn't have much. I remember my mom used to give me like 5 rupees, which is like 10 cents a month for my pocket money. I remember I used to yearn to get a can of Coke to drink once a month there. But then I really wanted to be an engineer. So I'm a mechanical engineer. I worked for the largest company in Bombay, but I really wanted to come to USA to do my MBA in marketing. That's what I came to George Washington University with $7 in my pocket. And then I sold books, encyclopedias, because I just wanted to earn myself a living to pay for my tuition. I didn't take any loan at all at a private university, knocked on doors, got hit by cars, and it just turned me from an engineer to a sales guy.
You mentioned you got hit by a car?
I did, because see, I was working 13 hours a day, 80 hours a week with this company, right? And we were selling books and encyclopedias and Bible books, children books door to door around Atlanta. So at night time, one of the cars kind of hit me. I got hurt a little bit, not much, but nothing stops me.
One of the things I have noticed about you, and also in my journeys to India, my wife is Indian, she's Punjabi.
Yes.
Yeah, and
I'm Punjabi too. Yes.
Yeah, they're from Chandigarh and Ludhiana.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've noticed that the drive to come to America for ostensibly a better life, better education, is really incredible when you're there. I found it in kids who are like 14, 15, and 16, and it's just absolutely amazing. And you bring that energy here, so you go through everything, and then you mentioned earlier you started in single family.
Yes.
A lot of people, there might be a good amount of people watching this now who are like, I'd love to get into single family, but I don't know how to do it. And you had mentioned that's how you came through. Can you give us a couple of maybe tips for people what to look at if you're going to go into single family?
Love to. Actually, we got married, my wife and I, happily married 41 years this year.
Wow.
We moved
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. We have 2 children, Neil and Monica. Neil went to Berkeley and Monica went to UCLA. They're our pride and joy. Just the family life is so important. The success can be anything. Money is not success. I always say that. It's giving to charities and taking care of the family. That's the key. So, no, you're right. When we came to 41 years back into the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, our friends owned some real estate. So it's good to have great peers around you. And they were talking about, let's invest in this single family home, which we did, by the way. We also invested into 165 unit apartment building in Reno and all that. So that really opened our horizon. So my wife and I started saving money and buying homes and homes in Arizona, in Atlanta, in Texas, all that. But the light bulb just came out about 16, 17 years back. You know what? I could have 20, 30 homes, but if I can get 20-unit apartment or a duplex or a single duplex, so I always say to everybody, please don't get single family home, but get a duplex. Start with that. Actually, fourplex is even better because you could get financing yourself, and fourplex is considered as a primary residence. No, some people don't know that. So you could get a whole loan on 4, and then you're living in one side, and then 3 other tenants, we call them residents, we never call tenants. So 3 residents can be paying the mortgage and interest and even cash flow we are making. So duplex, fourplex, eightplex, that's how I started in this business. I still own that, by the way, duplex still. It's a 1,500 to 2,000 positive cash flow per month. But then I bought 14 units for $180,000. $180,000. And then we just kept on buying more and more. So it went to 60 units, 80 units. And now, with the grace of God, we have close to $500 million portfolio. But it all started from that small one, single family to duplex to other places. Yeah. So please make a decision.
Because if you have 20 single family homes, you have 20 different things you have to manage, as opposed to if you have 20 units under one roof. It's easier.
Much easier. Much easier. Economies of scale. It's one transaction, not 20 different transactions. It's one loan, and it's much easier to qualify for a 20-unit apartment building, and the maintenance person can take care of it quickly. The part-time manager can collect the rents quickly. It's just amazing. Just the whole, it just scales up very nicely, and you can have very good sleep at night. You can get a property management company. You could even look in your backyard or into emerging areas like that. Sure. Yes.
It's how key is it to, and at what point, as people start to scale up, either going from single family to maybe duplexes and triplexes, at what point do you suggest that people look at management companies? Because that's a big chunk of your profit that you're going to give away.
Okay.
Your revenue. So at what point does that make sense?
Good point. Very good point, Tony. What I would say, definitely, we always had property management companies taking care of single family homes because we couldn't really get bothered by, the service calls and at night calls and all that. You're right. You give away the profits. You're right. But with the multifamily, for example, if you even take 8 units, I'm just thinking, for example, you could find some property management companies who will manage it for you for 6 to 8% of the revenue. So not bad. It's not really all the profit is gone, but you are able to control it. If you get a 20 unit, that's even better. Now, I would like to tell a secret right now. See, the biggest thing is, a lot of people say, I cannot afford it. Then I tell my friends and everybody, you can afford not to have it because you have money sitting in the house. You could do, like the line of credit or refinancing. Now the interest rate is so low, or you could pool the money together. That's why I wrote that book, because trillions of dollars are flowing around us.
And speaking of that, if I am a new investor, how do I go about finding the capital and the proper capital? Because as you mentioned before, you were ripped off at various points, and there are those people out there that will take advantage of somebody coming new to the market.
Totally, Tony. Actually, I have a lot of stuff on the social media, and anybody listening even can reach out to us. We'll provide them all the checklists. It's very good to really vet the syndicators, we call it. Make sure that you are not sending money to anybody without track record. Who are the principals? How many people are really at the top? So that too many cooks spoil the recipe, I call it. Actually, you want to know the principals right. You want to see their track record and make sure what their returns are. Are they conservative? Are they just throwing pie in the sky? Things like that. So those things are important. But at the same token, anybody listening can also do their own things. I'm sure they could actively participate or passively participate. So either way,
Yeah, and outside of syndication, but if you're on your own and you're like, look, I want to buy a duplex, a triplex.
Sure.
Do you suggest traditional ways of raising capital, or do you go to friends and family?
Oh yeah, friends and family are the best of the best because you could do joint partnerships, you could do TICs, that's tenants in common, a little bit more in a technical term, but there are different ways to really buy and do seller financing. That's even best of the best, where you don't even have to go to the bank, but you could just get the seller to finance with zero money of your own. You can actually do master lease, you can do lots of great things. But
what I like about seller financing is the fact that now with rates being so low,
yes,
you almost have free money. It gives I don't know about your experience, but in my experience, the investor financing, they always want a point higher than the market. But
totally.
In this low, in almost free money stage,
it really, no qualms at all, because this time will not come back. I just say that to all my teams and everybody. Now is the time to really load up in good underwritten assets, I call it. Underwriting means you have to really look through everything, the proper due diligence, the inspections, and making sure that the numbers that we are doing are correct and assumptions are correct in the whole Excel worksheets and things like that, right? But please do get educated. That was the biggest fear. I remember when I started with my team of people, we were coached by the right people. And that's what really made a difference in us overcoming the fear. The biggest thing is the fear. Many times we don't take steps, we analyze and then we paralyze. But we just need to move the needle, I call like that, because we can make a difference. It's not rocket science. That's what I say. It's not a gorilla. Syndication word is like pooling of money together legally, which is the right thing for the investors, because I believe total transparency and the whole thing about really helping. And a lot of my friends are so happy because we have quadrupled, they doubled, tripled their money, and the investors love it because they're busy in their profession. So they are able to get K1s, the tax forms, which gives them cost segregation, negatives, paper loss, all those things.
And let's go through syndication if we can,
sure,
a little bit. As a person decides that I've got a couple single families or I have a couple of multi-units, but now I'm looking to go a little bigger, maybe 16, 20, whatever, have 25, 30.
Sure.
I've got a buddy in Seattle I grew up with who actually builds everything himself. And he hasn't needed syndication, but now he's starting to get pretty big. So he's looking into syndication. What are the 3 or 4 or 5 things that hit your checklist on when you start to put together syndication? Who do you look for? Where do you go?
Excellent, excellent. I always say in the syndication world, that's the pooling of the money together. Your family, friends are entrusting you to take care of the profitability of the property, and you're making the decisions. So getting a legal entity, LLC, I usually say Wyoming or Mississippi or Las Vegas or Delaware, they are great, and get a real estate attorney involved. But at the same token, you want to put a little package together as to where you will be investing the money, have a small business plan, and that's not hard at all. And then you'll be able to reaching out to your family, friends first, because they trust you. They've seen you. People will only like to invest $50,000 or $100,000 if they trust you and they know you. And that's how I started with one investor. Now we have over 400 investors, and my investors have pitched in. I think our top investors has pitched in 3.8 million now into our deals. So it starts with 50,000, see? But if you are sincere, you are really on top of things, and make sure that you are presenting yourself to them in a right fashion and everything, with all the conservative underwritings and the business plan, money will flow. Money will flow.
I know. Yeah, I agree. And I know, thank you for that. And I know of one friend of mine who didn't have a whole lot of money at all, but he was exceptional at finding the property. So what he did is he structured the deal, a small syndication of 5 friends They raised a little over about 600,000.
Yes.
It's LA, so it's a little more expensive here.
Totally.
But what he did is that he didn't have as much money to put in as them, but he used his time. He was the finder. He was the manager. He was taking care of everything. So they were like, okay, we don't have time to go do what you do. So then would you suggest that's a good way to go about it as well, even if you don't have as much money to match as your friends?
You're 100% right. Totally 100% right, Tony. That's exactly the syndicator like me and others do. We have the broker relationships. We underwrite 100 deals, right? For example, come up with one. Then we go and do the financial due diligence, the property inspections and all, put it under contract, put the earnest money, things like that. But it's the sweat equity, we call it, which is the partnership part. We call it as the general partnership, which could be only 30%, but 70% is given to the limited partners. So majority of the returns go to the limited partners, but the general partner is able to do 80-20 or 70-30 like that. Sure. Definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was something, this falls into it as well. You have one of the videos on YouTube you talk about is OPM, right?
Yes.
Other people's money.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit. This is the same in the syndicate, but talk a little bit more about that specifically if you can go completely OPM.
Oh, I would love to. Essentially, like other people's money, OPM, there are, I think, 32 trillion with a T, $1 trillion in retirement funds in USA right now. And with the stock market where it is, some people are really thinking about more diversification and things like that, Tony. That's where I say it's the power of other people's money, which is true. If you look at Google, if you look at Facebook, if you look at any of these big companies which are going Teslas, it's other people's money. It really is, because people are buying stocks and selling stocks and buying more and the price is going higher. Similarly, in the syndication world, we say Regulation D under 506C exemption. I don't want to technically, it's not that hard, but that's what we do for syndication, to use the OPM, other people's money, to pool together legally. I love the word legally because SEC ruling, Securities and Exchange Commission ruling, is the best rules. They are the watchdog to take care of the interest of the investors. And that's the key, because we want to be totally transparent, totally up and up. And that's what keeps everybody straight. And then have the meetings with the investors, make sure that they are getting proper reporting of the financials and everything. Like in our company, nothing is holds bar, nothing. Our investors can ask for the capex things, the bids, even the closing statement. I go over everything through a Zoom seminar after we purchase the property. We introduce the residents, and we introduce our software and our team up front, everybody. So because the investors can really sleep well at night, and then we have periodical communications and things like that. So OPM, as the word says, it's the other people's money. These are family, friends, people we know, acquaintances, people at work, and they are really busy in their profession. There are lots and lots of people. They are busy in what they're doing, but they won't be able to really understand and find the properties like you will, or somebody who wants to do it actively, we call it, as a real estate professional. So that way you are able to bring, as a GP side, these vetted deals, and then the other people's money can come in to buy and pay for the down payment and the closing costs of the purchase, and then happily getting involved for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, and give to the other people, investors, the quarterly returns or monthly returns, we call it, as the cash flow returns, and then equity gain when we sell it or when we do the refinancing. So it's not a debt world. Just like in the stock market, it's just the stock price goes up and down right there, right? But in the real estate world, the limited partners get their 100,000 invested into a property 5 times bigger, because 20/80 leverage. So that is a big effect to the passive investors. And the tax laws are made for real estate in USA. The tax laws are like if we lose the stock market losses up to $3,000 per year, we could write it off. But in real estate, every dollar can be written off. Actually, the property can be making a total profit for the whole year, but the paper loss of cost segregation or bonus depreciation, those are the two terms, that can make millions of dollars negative in the K1, which the investors get. Like for example, as an example, please don't quote me, like my investors who gave me $100,000 for one of our properties, we gave a K1 of minus $61,000. Wow. So the property was making money. They were getting dividends or cash flows. But because of the paper loss, Tony, it made it flow to the investors on the K1 minus 61,000.
What's amazing is you're right. Real estate is one of the only assets I can think of really that can actually be increasing in value, but you can take losses on it at the same time.
Totally. Oh my gosh. It's totally mind-boggling. Like we build these senior livings, right? They're like 22 million when we are finished making it. But then the tax law says in 27.5 years, it will be worth zero.
Yeah. which it won't be.
It won't be. Not at all. Not at all.
We've got about 15 minutes left. This has been really enjoyable.
Thank you.
I love it so much. There's something you have that you talk about, House Hack 101.
Yes.
What is that?
I'm so glad you're asking me that. See, that's where everybody should be doing it. House hacking, just the word says, is that you're hacking a residence and you're renting a part of the residence to that the renter is paying for the mortgage and you're living for free. so you could actually even do it in your own home and lease out like a room, for example, to a very nice resident. Or a lot of people are now converting their garage because a lot of people are not driving that much and so on, or they are putting the car in their driveway. But then there are companies now, they can convert the whole garage into a unit. Yep. And there is housing need. Or you could put even an ADU in the back side. If we have some good space in the backside of the house, these are beautiful structures, independent structures, and you can lease them out or rent them out. So that's house hacking right there. Or if you buy a duplex, that's house hacking also, because you're living in one side and the other side resident is paying for the whole mortgage, even paying some principal to bring it down. And then
but that's what you were mentioning so correctly. Say like on a triplex or a fourplex. Yes. Growing up outside of Seattle, there was a family, I was a friend of this family, and the father bought 5 acres and then pushed a road through to connect the 2 roads outside of Seattle, and then built a small unit was going to build the garage first with a small unit in the back. He slept in the little unit in the back, which was a studio, and then built the house. And then halfway through building the house, sold the house, and then from there had some capital to then go build across the street. And so my friend ended up building, I think, 12 houses on that street. And I think my friend ended up living in 3 or 4 of them as he went along. But that's the exact same thing. He knew he didn't have much to start with, but knew his trade, knew what he was good at. And just from that, and then I think when he retired, he had, I think, close to 2,400 units.
Oh my God. Wow.
So a great story of showing how he couldn't come on site and have another house and living in that and paying for that. So he basically did it that way from the ground up. One more thing I think we want to talk about is you have this also part that you coach people on, and it's pro tips for passive investors. What are your pro tips that you can leave people with?
Oh, totally. Tony, I would say definitely for the passive investors, please don't be concerned. You can really vet the syndicator or the investment. You want to see what area the investment is. First of all, feel good about if it's a conventional workforce housing, that make sure that you're asking the syndicator, people who are asking you to invest in passively, to provide all the reports and all the different reasons why they are so bullish about that area. That's neighborhood. Secondly, what the product is, how old is the investment, and how much different maintenance will be costing, and what are the different fees. That's very big. You want to ask all those things from the people that you might be investing passively. The third thing is the principal, which is the most important. Who are on the top? What's their track record? When did they get started? How many deals they have done? All that thing is very important, because I have found too many people on the top, if their conflict of interest happen and things like that, the partnerships fell apart, and then the investors can be really at a disadvantage. And that's why I just feel like I'm a very risk-averse person myself, very calculated engineer. So I have never signed a co-sign with anybody in this last 15 years. I've been on the principle of all the loans and everything. Maybe had 1 or 2 times somebody else join me up on the top, and that's all. But this way we are able to control the preservation of capital for our investors. Is foremost in my wife, who is the VP of Investor Relations. Our daughter Monica is the VP of Operations. Then we have our VP of Finance, who has been with us 14 years. Anna, she's wonderful, an investor, and all our whole team has just, and our partner now with Shahid Imran and John Rusin. So we just love, it's like a family operation.
And you're smart too, because the first couple of names you mentioned were women. So you surround yourself with smart women, which is something that men should do more of, correct?
Yes.
And one thing too I like about your discussion about at the top. You're right. If there are too many people, there are too many things that can go wrong. Yes. I like to keep it simple. And that way I don't have to rely on 9 people getting along and 9 people living a correct life and living a straight and narrow life, so to speak. Yeah. I do know that even I get stuff I'll get these targeted ads on Instagram, or they'll come flying up on one of my feeds about, you can get rich in real estate, and syndication is the way to go, or passive investing is the way to go. One thing I do love about what you're saying is that from your standpoint, and what you do to your investors is you allow them to have full transparency. And I think one of the red flags that would go up is if you're having a hard time getting anything out of anybody, then you're going to have a hard time getting answers if things go wrong down the road. So transparency is key. And the 3 other things you mentioned are key as well. Totally. And it's a good path to go down, I think, if you do all the due diligence correctly.
It is. It really is. There's nothing wrong in investing. And actually, from my retirement funds, I cannot invest in my own deal. It's called like arm's length. So I'm investing in some other people's who are good friends of mine, or my students who have really done. I've taught them, and now they're into 50 million portfolio, 60 million portfolio. I'm very pleased that I want my students to really overtake me, be bigger and better than Vinney Chopra. That's my goal and my theme in life. When I retire at 98, I'm 68. I'll be 69 with the grace of God this August, and I'll be 70 next year. I'm just so looking forward to sitting straight in this chair, Tony.
Listen, you look like you're in your 50s, my friends. Bully to you for
being
so good. And by the way, I think that comes a lot from your spirit, your spirituality, and your positive outlook on life. Right? It comes right. Yeah. So see, there you go.
That's my
dashing man on the cover.
That's my second book. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tony. Again, positive attitude. I would love to speak a little bit about it. I just feel like I'm a product of all the tapes and Jim Rohn tapes and W.J. Schwartz, The Magic of Thinking Big, and Tony Robbins, and all the great people, Zig Ziglar and John C. Maxwell, you name it, right? The key thing is, a lot of people listen, but you got to just apply. And the biggest thing is to conquer your mind, conquer your subconscious. And that's what I feel, with the grace of God, I've been just becoming I've become more positive person, and nothing bothers me. And I'm just up with the Miracle Morning. Hal Elrod, good friend of mine, wrote the Miracle Morning. I am up at 4 o'clock, 4:30, without alarm. and I'm ready to go exercise, and I'm ready to really get into my mantras and all, and do my mind and pay gratitude to the people in my life and all around me, and to really make a difference in the lives of everybody I come in touch with.
That's wonderful. One of the things you said I think is really key as well is your subconscious, because
Yes.
if you notice, many people often say what they don't want and they speak it out. So
Yes.
continue to say what you don't want, it will actually come to you. But if you, instead of saying, I don't want to lose money on this house, how about saying, I want to make money on this
Yes.
house. I want benefits on this house. And if you start changing your verbiage, right, it's just a 180. And by the way, we all do it. We
Yes.
all do it. But if you, it's like anything else. We have been conditioned so far to say, I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. We can just as be conditioned as easily to say,
I want.
I would like, or I'm looking forward to, right?
100%, law of attraction, law of manifestation, 24/7. It's working. What we are telling, our subconscious doesn't know good from the bad. And so whatever we are saying, the subconscious says, okay, that's right. I'll get more of it. I'll get more of it. I'll get more of it. So you're so right, Tony. We got to be always trying to say in the positive way. And I'm so glad what you brought up, because what we will say to us, and that's what is going to come more of that energy. I call it as the signal, right? There is sound waves all around us, but if the sound wave is captured by somebody and we are able to get that positive thing, more and more of it, more positive thing will come in our lives.
100%. So listen, we have to wrap it up. This has been fantastic. Couple quick things. One last thing. How can people get a hold of you? How can they find you?
Surely, Tony, I'm all over this social media. Vinney Chopra, V as in Victor, Iney. Chopra, Chopra, like Deepak Chopra. He's not, maybe we are from Punjab also, like your wife, no? You mentioned, and my grandparents were also from Punjab, Hoshiarpur and Jalandhar. But just Google me, Vinney Chopra. I have vinneychopra.com. I have a senior living website now, investinginseniorliving.co. Then my academy, multifamilyacademy.com. I'm all over. So if I can be of any help to anybody, please read. And I listen to all the things. My teams are very up to date and will reply to you if you reach out to us. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And listen, if you come to Los Angeles, how about if we make you a proper Indian meal?
Oh, I would love that. Oh my gosh, Tony. And if you come to the Bay Area, please visit us. We would love to also entertain. My wife is a great cook. She's from India also, Kanchan. And I would love to welcome you and your wife. Totally. It'll be such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Vinney. Have a great day.
Thank you.
So
you have a wonderful one. Thank you, Tony. God bless you and your wife and family. Thank you. Thank
you. As well.
Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye. Bye, Vinney.
Bye-bye.
All right, Chris, we good with everything?
There it is. Chris is coming in.
Yeah, what a great job.
All right. We did it. You know, it was such a pleasure, really, Tony. Such a pleasure.
All right. Bye,
I apologize. Oh my gosh, we didn't say Bill's name.
That's okay, don't worry about it.
Oh, are you sure? Are you sure? Oh my gosh.
We've got about 4 minutes. Yeah, we got 4 minutes, so we've got to get off this.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Thanks again. God bless you. Please let me know if I can be of any help.
Hold on 30 seconds. Come here.
Okay. Oh.
This is my wife, Vinney.
Oh.
Punjabi as well.
Hi there. Hi. How are you? Wonderful. Wonderful. So nice to meet you.
You too.
I'm Vinod. I go by Vinney, but my real name is Vinod Kumar Chopra. They took the Kumar out, put smiles in there.
I can see why.
Exactly.
Okay, so are you Punjabi?
I'm Punjabi, total 100% Punjabi. आपका क्या नहीं? I can speak pretty good Punjabi. I can speak. की हाल चाल है जी? दसो.
Let's take it.
हाँ, बिल्कुल ठीक है. Oh my God, we got to have you come here, please. Yeah, visit us.
In the Bay Area.
Yeah, in the Bay Area. Yep, east side of the Bay in Danville, Blackhawk.
We have just 3 minutes. We got
Sure. That was so nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, thank you, G. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. God
see you,
bless.
babe. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Tony, I emailed it. It's
Okay. Boy, gosh, oh my gosh, this was so grueling. It was so amazing, guys, having the chance to really speak with Tony and his wife, and she's from Punjab, from Ludhiana. I thought that was just very good. Let's see here. I'm just opening up over here. Again, today I just had an interview with Tony Potts. Please look for that interview. It's going to be epic. It's going to be exciting. He was able to take me to all different directions, and such a great person, just a great person. Oh, my handkerchief is a little bit like that. I just like all these handkerchief and everything. Life is to have fun, guys. It's really all in our power, whether we want to have a great day or a bad day. If you want to have a great day, you want to definitely be positive. You want to be thinking you should have goals and ambitions and what you want to accomplish. Mentalize, delegate, prioritize your life, because if you don't do it, who will do it? So you got to really be, and if you'd like to reach us, please reach out to my team and give us thumbs up on our podcast, on all the materials that we are putting out there free, and some of the mastermind and passive investing and things like that. We would love to have you join our clubs, passive investing club, into senior living, assisted senior living, diversified funds, all those things. So thank you. God bless you. And again, it was just a wonderful meeting today with Tony Potts and his wife and his Chris, his right-hand person. So thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, brother. Take care. Love to have you. Welcome. We'll love to have a meal there together in Los Angeles, Hollywood, and then love to have you here in the Bay Area when you join us and my wife and I. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.